John, forge, smith stood in the center of his dimly lit forge, the glow of the furnace casting flickering shadows across the room. The rhythmic clang of hammer on anvil echoed through the space, a testament to his life's work. His burly frame and weather-worn hands spoke volumes of his dedication to the ancient craft of blacksmithing. The door creaked open, and the sterile light of the Galactic Empire's hovercraft spilled into the forge. Commander Tarkin, clad in his pristine uniform, stepped inside, his nose wrinkling at the earthy, metallic scent. "Smith," Tarkin began, his tone laced with disdain. "I can't believe we're actually resorting to this." John paused, wiping sweat from his brow. "Desperation makes for strange bedfellows, Commander." Tarkin's gaze swept over the forge, eyes lingering on the various weapons and tools hanging from the walls. "Our finest laser-forged weapons are useless against these aliens. Their armor deflects everything we've thrown at them. We need something unconventional." John's eyes narrowed as he picked up a chunk of alien ore provided by the Empire's engineers. Its iridescent surface shimmered under the forge's light. "This is the material you want me to work with?" "Yes," Tarkin replied, crossing his arms. "It's stronger than any alloy we've encountered, but none of our methods can shape it effectively." John's lips curled into a slight smile. "Leave it to me." The room filled with the sounds of John's intense labor. The hiss of the furnace, the hammering of metal, and the crackling of the forge fire created a symphony of craftsmanship. Tarkin watched, skepticism etched on his face, as John expertly manipulated the alien ore. Hours passed, and the first prototype blade began to take shape. John's movements were precise, each strike of the hammer purposeful. His deep knowledge of metallurgy guided him, blending traditional techniques with the alien material's unique properties. "How do you know this will work?" Tarkin asked, his tone softer now, curiosity piqued. John didn't look up. "You have to trust the process. This isn't just about strength, it's about balance and precision." As dawn broke, John held up the finished blade. It gleamed with a lethal beauty, its edge honed to a razor's sharpness. "This will do the job," he declared, confidence resonating in his voice. Tarkin took the blade, inspecting it closely. The weight, the balance, it was unlike anything he'd ever handled. "We'll see how it fares in the field," he said, a hint of respect creeping into his voice. John nodded, his eyes reflecting the fire of his forge. "Just remember, sometimes the old ways are the best." The narrative tension rose as they prepared for the upcoming test. The stakes were high, and both men knew the future depended on the success of this ancient craft against the advanced alien threat. John, forge, Smith stood at the edge of the testing ground, the prototype blade gleaming in his hand. The stark morning light revealed a barren landscape dotted with the charred remnants of failed battles. Galactic Empire soldiers and engineers, their faces etched with a mix of skepticism and hope, watched intently. "Are you sure about this?" Commander Tarkin's voice broke the tense silence. His eyes flicked nervously from John to the alien or blade. John nodded, his grip firm on the hilt. "Trust in the craft, Commander. This will work." A hulking alien, restrained and growling, was dragged into the testing area. Its armor, impervious to lasers, glinted ominously. The creature's eyes locked onto John, radiating a fierce intelligence. Tarkin motioned to a soldier. "Prepare the test." The soldier, a young man with determination in his eyes, stepped forward, the blade clutched tightly. He approached the alien, every step measured. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. "Remember," John advised, his voice steady, "it's all about precision." With a swift, practiced motion, the soldier swung the blade. It sliced through the alien armor effortlessly, embedding itself deep into the creature's flesh. The alien let out a guttural roar before collapsing, defeated. Gasps of disbelief and relief rippled through the crowd. "It worked," Tarkin breathed, replacing his previous skepticism. He turned to John, respect evident in his eyes. "You did it." John's expression remained stoic, but a glint of satisfaction shone through. "It's just the beginning." The news of the successful test spread quickly, igniting a flurry of activity. Engineers and blacksmiths from across the galaxy descended upon John's forge, eager to learn and replicate his techniques. The forge, once quiet and solitary, buzzed with the sounds of collaboration and innovation. Among the new arrivals was Alara, a young engineer with a keen intellect and an insatiable curiosity. "I've never seen anything like this," she remarked, examining a newly forged blade. "How do you blend traditional methods with such advanced materials?" John looked at her, impressed by her genuine interest. "It's all about understanding the essence of the materials. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. You have to respect both." Days turned into weeks as the forge transformed into a hub of relentless activity. Soldiers trained with the new blades, their confidence growing with each successful strike against alien armor. The air was filled with the clang of metal, the hiss of the forge, and the murmur of strategic discussions. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, John found himself alone in the forge. The day's work had been grueling, but fruitful. He stared at the fire, lost in thought, when Tarkin approached. "Smith," Tarkin began, his voice softer than usual, "I wanted to thank you. You've given us a fighting chance." John turned, meeting Tarkin's gaze. "We're not done yet, Commander. This is just the first step." Tarkin nodded, a determined glint in his eye. "We'll be ready, and with your blades, we'll turn the tide." As Tarkin left, John looked around his forge. The walls, once lined with tools of an old world, now housed the hopes of a galaxy. The fusion of ancient and new had created something extraordinary, something powerful. John, forge, Smith stood on a ridge overlooking the battlefield, the horizon ablaze with the glow of plasma explosions and tracer rounds. The eerie silence of anticipation settled over the troops, interrupted only by the distant roars of the alien invaders. The Galactic Empire's soldiers, now equipped with John's meticulously crafted blades, moved into formation, their faces a mixture of fear and resolve. "Smith," Commander Tarkin's voice crackled over the comms, "are your men ready?" John glanced at the soldiers around him, each gripping their newly forged weapons with determination. "They're ready, Commander. We'll show these aliens what Earth steel can do." The alien forces, massive and intimidating, advanced with their usual confidence. Their biomechanical armor glistened, a stark contrast to the rough-hewn, sturdy blades wielded by the human soldiers. As the first wave of aliens charged, the air thickened with tension, every heartbeat echoing the imminent clash. "Hold the line," Tarkin commanded, his voice unwavering. The front lines met with a thunderous clash. Alien roars and human shouts intertwined, creating a cacophony of battle. John's blade cut through an alien's armor, the sound of metal on metal a testament to his craftsmanship. Beside him, Alara fought with a fierce intensity, her blade slicing through the air with precision. "These blades are incredible," Alara shouted over the din, her eyes alight with fierce determination. John nodded, his focus unbroken. "Keep pushing. We can win this." As the battle raged, the true power of John's blades became evident. The alien armor, once impervious to the Empire's advanced weapons, fell apart under the relentless assault of Earth-forged steel. Soldiers, emboldened by their newfound effectiveness, fought with renewed vigor, turning the tide of battle. Suddenly, a massive alien, towering above the rest, stormed towards John and Alara. Its eyes burned with a primal fury, its armor thicker and more menacing than any they had faced. "John, look out!" Alara screamed, her voice tinged with panic. John barely had time to react as the alien swung a massive arm, sending him sprawling. The world spun, and pain shot through his side. He struggled to his feet, the blade still clutched in his hand. Alara engaged the alien, her movements swift and calculated. She danced around its strikes, searching for an opening. John, regaining his composure, joined her, their blades flashing in the chaos. "Together!" John yelled, their synchronized attack a testament to their training and trust. They struck in unison, their blades finding the weak points in the alien's armor. With a final, desperate roar, the creature collapsed, its demise a turning point in the battle. The surrounding soldiers cheered, their spirits lifted by the victory. "Fall back," Tarkin's voice commanded. "Regroup and push forward." The alien forces, now disorganized and demoralized, began to retreat. The human soldiers, their confidence soaring, pressed the advantage, driving the invaders back. The battlefield, once a scene of doubt and despair, now echoed with the sounds of victory. As the dust settled, John and Alara stood amidst the wreckage, their breaths heavy but triumphant. Tarkin approached, his expression one of profound respect. "You've done it, Smith," Tarkin said, clapping John on the shoulder. "Your blades turned the tide." John, exhausted but proud, nodded. "We're not finished yet, Commander. This is just the beginning." The twilight sky was streaked with hues of orange and purple as John, Forge, Smith stood at the edge of the battlefield. The air was thick with the scent of scorched earth and the metallic tang of blood. The remnants of the alien forces had retreated, leaving behind a landscape marked by their defeat. Human soldiers moved among the wreckage, their expressions a mix of relief and lingering determination. John surveyed the scene, his heart swelling with a mix of pride and exhaustion. Beside him, Alara was tending to a wounded soldier, her movements efficient and caring. The camaraderie and resilience displayed by the troops were a testament to the strength of their spirit and the efficacy of John's blades. "Smith," Commander Tarkin called out, approaching with a grim yet satisfied expression, "we've received intel on the aliens' main base. This war isn't over, but we've turned the tide." John nodded, his grip tightening on his blade. "Where do we go from here, Commander?" Tarkin's gaze was steely. "We strike their base. End this once and for all. Your blades have given us a fighting chance. Now we need to deliver the final blow." The troops gathered for a briefing, their faces hardened by the recent battle but alight with a newfound hope. John and Alara stood at the forefront, the trust of their comrades evident in every glance cast their way. "We've been given an opportunity," Tarkin began, his voice carrying authority and resolve. "Thanks to John's craftsmanship, we have a weapon the aliens can't counter. Our next mission is to take out their main base. This is our chance to end this war." As Tarkin laid out the plan, John felt a surge of determination. The stakes were higher than ever, but the victory they'd achieved had instilled a confidence that resonated through the ranks. The journey to the alien base was fraught with danger. The terrain was hostile, and the remnants of the alien forces launched desperate attacks to thwart their advance. Each skirmish tested their resolve, but John's blades proved their worth time and again, slicing through armor that had once seemed impenetrable. During a brief respite, Alara approached John, her eyes reflecting the flickering light of their campfire. "Do you ever wonder why this happened, John? Why they chose to invade?" John looked into the fire, his thoughts heavy. "Sometimes. But right now, what matters is stopping them. Understanding can come later." Alara nodded, a silent agreement passing between them. The war had forged not just weapons, but bonds of unspoken trust and purpose. As they neared the alien base, the tension escalated. The final battle loomed, and every soldier felt the weight of what was at stake. The base, a sprawling complex of alien architecture, loomed ominously on the horizon. "Remember," Tarkin addressed the troops one last time, "this is our moment. For Earth, for our future, we fight." The assault on the base was fierce and chaotic. The aliens, desperate and cornered, fought with a ferocity born of survival. John and Alara moved through the fray with precision, their blades cutting a path towards the heart of the enemy stronghold. In the climax of the battle, John found himself face to face with the alien commander, a towering figure clad in the most formidable armor yet. The final confrontation was brutal, each strike resonating with the weight of their respective worlds. With a final, powerful swing, John's blade shattered the alien commander's defenses, delivering a decisive blow. The commander fell, and with it, the alien resistance crumbled. The victory was theirs. The human soldiers erupted in cheers, the reality of their triumph sinking in. John stood amidst the chaos, the weight of the battle lifting as a new era dawned. Tarkin approached, his expression a mixture of relief and respect. "We did it, Smith. Thanks to you." John nodded, the exhaustion of battle giving way to a profound sense of achievement. We all did. Together. As the sun rose over the liberated battlefield, John looked to the future. The forge's fire had indeed crafted more than just weapons. It had forged a new hope for humanity. The chapter concluded with a sense of closure and anticipation, as the soldiers began the journey of rebuilding and healing, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.